Lois Margolin, 9 steps to successfully coaching a club.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I have to say, this club inspires me. It inspires me to pick myself up when we do something that didn't quite work, and it inspires me to give this speech again because I really believe this is one of those important speeches. It's the 9 steps to successfully coach a club. Before I get started, can everybody see my screen? Yay, okay, here we go. Has anybody here ever coached a club? A couple of you have, so you know that it is possible to do. Let's talk about some ways that you can make this just a little bit easier. The first time I coached a club, it took me 19 months to go from 12 members to 20 members. That seems to be a long time for me because it was really dragging out. But the second time, I went from 4 members to 21 members in 6 months, with 3 more signing up in the very near future. That tells me that if you do it right and you do some planning, you can definitely explode your membership. First thing I do when I'm getting ready to coach is I go online to Toastmasters International because their resource library has so much information available, and you just research coaching materials, and I can guarantee you, you are going to find more information than you could possibly have wanted. From there, we make sure you have coordinated with your president, your vice president of education, and everybody on the executive board to make sure they understand this is a team. You're not going in there to take over their club. You're not going in there to be Superwoman or Superman. You are going in there to be part of a team, and that is so incredibly important. Want to make sure you take the Club Coach Troubleshooting Guide. Now, my second time, that wasn't quite such a productive project because we only had 4 members. We knew we were in trouble. We knew we had to do something drastic. We went through this, but by the time we got to the end of the first page, we realized, you know what? This isn't going to help. The main thing we need is we need to get some bodies in those seats, and then we need to convert those bodies into members. One thing we recognized is that the previous regime wasn't respecting the timing of our guests and our members. Imagine if you go to a club and the club says it meets from 7 to 8. By 8:15, you're still there with no end in sight. By 8:30, you're starting to get antsy. And by 8:45, you're like, I'm out of here. And you are never coming back. If you tell your members and your guests that your event ends at 8 o'clock, end at 8 o'clock. You can always gavel it closed. And then you know what? You can ask people to stay around if you have any other things you want to discuss. But make sure you're respecting the timing of your guests and your members. Follow a traditional format. If you have 1 hour, some clubs do 2 speeches, some do 3, 2 or 3 table topics, and depending on your number of speeches, your evaluations. Don't go off and do your own thing where you decide, well, we're going to do 1 speech this week, 3 speeches next week. Try and stay so that it's consistent. We made sure we told every guest, we're a club in coaching mode. We're very different than all the other Toastmaster clubs you might be going to because we're here to coach more than we are just to give speeches. And everybody looks at you like you have 2 heads and they go, what does that mean? Well, it's pretty simple. Coaching mode means that we are building the club to 20 plus members. That we will be having at the end of every month guest speakers, and we'll facilitate workshops where we'll have one-on-one scenarios where we'll be coaching one-on-one. We also are thinking outside the box for special activities. And really important is we are creating a community. The last Tuesday of every month, we put it aside for our workshops, and we all went out to dinner afterwards. What did that do? That brought us together so that we understood who we were. We were able to share information about our lives, how we got here, why we're here, and that brings the club and the members and the guests closer together. What kind of guests and facilitations of the workshops do we have? Well, we try and get distinguished Toastmasters to come in and visit. And normally what we do is some kind of a table topic evaluation. So we do table topics. We might have fairy tale table topics. Have you ever put Goldilocks on trial? Let's see. You've got the three bears. You've got Goldilocks, the defense attorney, the prosecuting attorney, the judge, and all the witnesses to say why Goldilocks is guilty or innocent. Let me tell you, it can be an entire meeting. And what about transition table topics, where you have one topic and everybody gets a chance to say a 1-minute speech? At the end, let's reward one person with maybe a $5 gift certificate, something different. Build that community. Make sure that your members know they are part of something bigger than just this little club. They are part of all of our lives, and we all intertwine together. Can you succeed in 6 months? Absolutely. Just follow the simple steps of downloading the Toastmaster International resources, work with the president and the other club members, complete that troubleshooting guide, be sure to respect time, set up a standard format, and make sure your members and your guests know you're at club and coaching mode, which makes you unique and brands you as a club that's working with members. And at the end of every month, we have special workshops, table topics, and we help to create a community. So can you succeed? Absolutely. I challenge you. Look and see what clubs in your area need a coach and sign up today. You can do it in just 6 months. Madam Toastmaster.
Yay.